Macbeth. Act 1, Scene 1. Scotland, a desert place. Enter 3 witches.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be at a set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grimalkin.
At a call.
Anon.
There is foul.
And foul is there.
Cover through the fog and filthy air.
Scene 2. The Heath. Enter Banquo and Macbeth.
So foul and Faraday, I have no peace.
Our forest call to forest. What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on? Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? Seem to understand me, by each at once her choppy fingers laying upon her skinny lip. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Drums!
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail, Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start, and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? Either name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner you greet with present grace, and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. You can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow and which will not. Speak then to me. Neither beg nor fear your favors, nor your hate.
Hail, 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 lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get king, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth.
All hail!
Nay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By final death, I know I am Thane of Glance. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you!
Whither have they vanished?
Into the air. What the incorporeal melted as breath into the wind.
Would they had stayed. Were such things here, as we do speak about?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor, too. Went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
Enter Orson and Angus.
King hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. As thick as hail came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him. We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee to his sight, not pay thee, and for an earnest of a greater honor. He bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which edition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason, capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains.
Cousin, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme.
I thank you, gentlemen.
This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, Why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners rap.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you under the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truth, win us with honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence.
Come, friends.
He leads them off. In the gathering darkness, the witches have returned to the scene.
Sisters hand in hand, hostess on the sea and land, thus to go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace, the charm, wound up.
Scene 3. Inverness. Macbeth's castle. Enter Lady Macbeth reading a letter.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the purposes before they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question further, they made themselves air into which they went. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, a message from the king who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time, with Hail King that shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Hail, King that shalt be. Blunt thou art and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, and are not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which faith and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who wert so would have informed for preparation.
So please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him who was almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make sick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gold. You murdering ministers, whenever in your fightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pull thee in the dullest smoke of hell, that my keen eyes see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold.
My dearest love.
Great love. Worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by the all-hail hereafter. My letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes him?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. He that's coming must be provided for. And you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch.
The gates of the castle are thrown open, and Duncan, King of Scotland, with Banquo, Ross, Angus, Lennox, and others enter the courtyard. Malcolm, Duncan's son, with attendants, comes from within the castle to greet his father.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treason. He implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Here's the Thane of Cawdor. We crossed him at the heels, but his great love, sharp as his spur, hath hoped him to his wife before us. Fair noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you, whose place is honor nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. Give me your hand.
Banquo and others attending him, the king starts up the steps to his chambers. The rest leave the stage by several ways.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which you must fall down, or else all leap, for in your way it lies.
The storm has cleared the air, and something in the peace of the twilight scene stops the old king at the entrance to the tower. He turns to Banquo to remark on it.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his loved mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jetty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed the air is delicate.
By your leave, hostess.
Exit Duncan with his train into the castle.
Your face, my friend, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. They are welcome in your eye, your hands, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it.
We will speak further.
Leave all the rest to me.
Macbeth is alone.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success. But this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'll jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to plague the inventor. Thus even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off,
and pity like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, the tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. Now. What news?
He has almost up. Why have you left the chamber?
Have he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Has it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account I have. Art thou fear to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would like the poor cat in the abbey.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dare do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did then appear, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their sickness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out. Had I so sworn as you have done to this...
If we should fail.
We fail. But throw your courage to a sticking place and we'll not fail. And Duncan is asleep, whereto the rover shall gaze hard journey soundly and right in. His two chamberlains rely with wine and wassail so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a few, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quill?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive another? And we shall make our grief and clamor roar upon his death.
Settled. And bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat.
Enter Banquo with him his son Fleance.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Oh, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that, too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose.
Lady Macbeth, moving behind him, darts into the castle.
Give me my sword! Who's there? A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. You've been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business. You would grant the time?
At your kind's leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Exeunt Banquo and Fleance. Again Macbeth is alone.
Is this the dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going. And such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. Be still. And on my blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood which was not so before. There's no such thing. 'Tis the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one half-world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarum by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design, moves like a ghost.
And the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their pots, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
I go. It is done. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts.
He is about it. Who's there? Alack, I am afraid they have awakened. 'Tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss it. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard an owl scream and a cricket's cry. Did not you speak?
When?
No.
Have I descended?
I?
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
'Tis one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen, the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen, when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep, that knits up the ravel's sleeve of care. The death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feet.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why were these things? You do unbend your noble strength to think so blame sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the dagger! Sleeping the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that tears of painted devils. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms with all, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No! This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. They are knocking without entrance. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, were best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Exit Macbeth. Enter a porter, drunk.
Here's a knocking indeed. The man reporter of Hellgate, he should have turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you. Hey, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Knock, knock. Never it quiet. What are you? Ooh, but this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil put it no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. And on, and on, and on.
He opens the gate. Enter Macduff and Lennox.
What it so late, friend? Are you went to bed? That you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing. 'Tis the second cock.
Is thy master stirring? Knocking is awakened. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
If you command me to call timely on him, I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call. Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
It was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the light for the building.
What is to say? The light?
Mean you, his majesty? See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and devil bane! Welcome! Awake!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered!
Welcome this! You are and do not note. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered!
Oh, by who?
Both of his chamber as it seemed had done. Their hands and faces were all batched with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gash stab looked like a breach in nature, for ruin's wasteful entrance. There the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers, unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain?
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand.
And so do I.
So,
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
well contented.
Exeunt all but Malcolm, Donalbain, and unseen by them in the shadow of the tower, Macbeth. Slip away. Our tears are not yet bruised. Daggers in men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer blooded. This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted. And our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse. And let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that death which yields itself when there's no mercy left. Malcolm and Donalbain go out through the gates. After a moment, Lady Macbeth reappears in a doorway to the castle. She looks across to her husband.
How now, my lord?
Had I but died an hour Before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn. And for mere lees is left this vault to brag of. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Act 2, Scene 1, Forest. The palace. Macbeth, wearing the crown of king, sits in state on the throne. Before him, the entire court.
We hear Macduff and Malcolm are gone hence, stolen to the coast in secret, not confessing their cruel parasite, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, and therewithal we shall have cause of state graving us jointly.
Enter Banquo.
Here's our chief guest.
Let your highness command upon me.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice in this day's council. We'll take tomorrow. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. While then, God be with you.
The court, noble lords, ladies, and attendants, bows itself out. Only Banquo remains, looking at Macbeth.
Thou hast it now. King, Corder, Glam. All as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there comes truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well?
Is't far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper.
Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
Speaking.
My lord?
Tend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. Which of the sisters, when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him, then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe. Thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings. The seed of Banquo. Who's there?
Re-enter Seaton with 2 murderers.
Now go to the door. Stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well, then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune which you thought had been our innocent self.
You made it known to us.
Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand has bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men. As hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I'm reckless what I do to spite the world. And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune,
But I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on.
Both of you know Banquo is your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirit shine through you. Within this hour, at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with a perfect spy of the time, the moment on, for it must be done tonight. Beyond his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. This concluded, Banquo, thy soul's fight. If it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Why do you keep alone? Sorry as fancies your companions making, using those thoughts, which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray to you. Thou know'st that Banquo and his fiance lives. There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelst at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
Scene 2. The Heath.
At the pit of Acheron meet we in the morning.
Thither he will come to know his destiny.
Your vessels and your spells provide your charm and everything beside. I am for the end. This night I'll spend unto a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop, profound.
I'll catch it ere it come to ground.
And that, distilled by magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion.
Scene 3. The Palace. banquet prepared. Enter Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Ross, Lennox, lords, and attendants.
Know your own degrees? Sit down. First and last, the hearty welcome. Thank you. Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. Anon we'll drink a measure, the table round.
Enter 2 murderers. Macbeth's guests have seated themselves at the banquet table. Unnoticed by them, he draws the murderers aside.
There's blood upon my face. It's better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, rounded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bound in to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo safe?
Aye, my good lord. Safe in the ditch he bides. 20 trenchant gashes on his head. The least death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion, wait on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, were the great person of our Banquo present, whom may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord.
Lennox indicates Macbeth's chair. It has been in shadow, and unobserved it has been occupied. Now as Macbeth stares at him, a ghastly light glows on the face. It is Banquo's ghost.
What is that moves your highness?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and has been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat.
Prithee, see there. Behold. Look. Lo. How say you?
The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passions. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
The very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger of which you said led you to Duncan.
Avaunt, and quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless. Thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble, or be alive again, and bear me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence!
Shame! Why do you make such faces when all is done? Look but on a stool.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. What you are here?
Our duties and the pledge.
Why, what care I, if thou canst not speak too? Your charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back. Our monument shall be the moors of kites.
Aye, for shame!
Blood has been shed ere now in the olden time, ere human statute purged the gentle wheel. Aye, and since too murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die and there an end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crown, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
Well, this place for mirth. Rope the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe. And now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sight, my lord?
I pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. And better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
Macbeth is left alone with his wife.
You lack the season of all nature. Sleep.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies and chops and roots brought forth the secrets, man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How sayst thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way. I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will. To the weird sisters, more shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means, the worst.
Not half. All spent where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy.
I am in blood, stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, which must be acted, ere they may be scanned.
Come, will to sleep.
Scene 4. A cavern. In the middle, a boiling cauldron.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge pig whined. Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Told that under cold stone days and nights has 31 sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell-broth boil and bubble. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the ravened salt sea shark, root of hemlock, ink in the dark, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of bird's strangled babe, itch delivered by a grab, make the gruel thick and slap, add thereto a tiger's tortoise, all the ingredients of our poison. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Oh, no! You secret black and midnight hags, what is to do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. Howe'er ye come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds, and let them fight against the churches, though the yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged, and trees thrown down, though castles topple on their waters' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, though the treasure of nature's germins tumble all together, even till destruction sicken. Answer me!
Speak! Demand! We'll answer! Thou rather hear it from our mouth or from our master.
Call him. Let me see him.
For in Sow's blood that hath eaten our 9 pharaoh, grease that's sweating from the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame, come high or low, thyself and office set thee show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
Say thou thy thought, yet its speech, what say thou not?
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macbeth! Beware the thane of flame! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast half my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the best.
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
And I 3 years I'll hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and rather you left to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of faith. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion metal, proud, and take no care. Who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
Oh, that will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet Boldman, good. Rebellious dead rise never till the wood of Birnam rise. And our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown to sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hag, why do you show me this? The fourth, star's eyes. What? Will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh. I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears. There's a glass which shows me many more. And some I see, the twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible fright. Now I see 'tis true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What is this soul? Where are they? Gone? As this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there. Saw you the weird sisters? Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my
I did hear the galloping of horse. Who else came by?
There's 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time now anticipates my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is not took unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife. Give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool, this deed I'll do, before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come bring me where they are.
Scene 5, Fife, Macduff's castle. Enter Lady Macduff, her son, and Ross.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl.
My dearest coz, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further. And so much a fool, should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sarah, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, thou'lt never fear the net, nor limes, the pitfalls, nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds they are not set for. My father is not dead for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 in any market.
Then you'll buy 'em to sell again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet if faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for they're liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. How wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shagged villain.
Young cry of treachery!
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you. Murder! Murder! Oh!
Scene 6. England. Before the King's Palace. Enter Malcolm and Macduff.
What I believe I'll wail, what no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend I will. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seaward with 10,000 warlike men already at a point was setting forth. Now we'll together. See, who comes here? My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, betimes remove the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen. Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are maids not mocked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who, and good men's lives fire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No. They were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goes?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men, an older and a better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with a like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not lack them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breath?
No mind that's honest within it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babe savagely slaughtered. Relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you. Heaven.
My children, too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed, too?
I have said,
be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hellkites, all! What? All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so! I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take that part?
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him, if he scape. Heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
Act 3, Scene 1. Dunsinane, the castle. Enter a doctor and a waiting gentlewoman.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most vast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. And what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. No, here she comes. She's her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
It stood by her. She has light by her continually. It is her command.
You see? Her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continually a quarter of an hour. Yet here's a spot.
Look, she speaks.
Oh, damn it, spot. How'd I say? 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it.
Hell is near.
Aye, my lord. I, a soldier in a field. What need we fear? Who knows it? When none can call our power to account. Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? The same of us as a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands now be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You are all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
There's a smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this gland. Oh.
What a sight there. The heart and sorely charged.
I will not have such a heart in my bosom. Let it have the whole body.
Well.
Darling.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on grave. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Is she going out to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds to breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. I think the damned speak.
Good night. Good night.
Scene 2. The country near Burnham Wood. Drum and colors. Enter Malcolm, Old Seward and his son, Macduff, Menteith, Caithness, Angus, Lennox, Ross, and soldiers marching.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane, he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him to call it valiant fury. But for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish deep.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery and report of us.
It shall be done.
Scene 3. Dunsinane. Within the castle.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. But the boy Malcolm, was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The devil damn thee, black, thou cream-faced loon! Forgot thou that goose look? There is 10,000 East villain! Soldiers, sir! Oh, prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy! What soldiers, patch! Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear! What soldiers, whey-face? The English force, so please you! Take thy face hence! Seaton! I am sick at heart when Seaton, I say! This push will cheer me ever. Or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Seaton!
What your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls! The cry is still, they come! Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine, and the ague, eat them up! Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful beard to beard, and beat them backward home. Give me my armor! How is your patient, Doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that.
Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic for the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Seaton, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, for dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health,
I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Full off, I say! What rhubarb, senna, what purgative drug would scar these English hens? Hearest thou of them? What is that noise?
The cry of women, my good lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in't. I have supped full with horrors, direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts. Cannot one start me? Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died. Hereafter, there would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in with petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Now come to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Lion, flee!
Let me enjoy your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speakst false upon the next tree, shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be truth, I cannot, if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now the wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! There is no flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind. Come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Malcolm's armies are heard to approach. Now suddenly the stage is filled with soldiers as Seward's forces burst into the hall. Macbeth's attendants flee, soldiers in pursuit, and Macbeth finds himself confronted by young Seward.
What is thy name?
I'll be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce the title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest before a tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speak.
They fight. And young Seward is slain.
Thou wast born of woman.
Deserted by his attendants, Macbeth is alone. From all about the castle, the sounds of the rout.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Exit Macbeth. Then enter Macduff.
Tyrant, show thy face. If thou be slain and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still.
Enter old Seward, then Malcolm and others.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Exeunt old Seward, Malcolm, and the rest.
I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unfettered edge I sheathe again, undeeded.
Enter Macbeth.
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but fare like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear of none.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else have I avoided thee. But get thee back, my soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword.
Thou losest labor. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born.
Spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely wretched.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so. For it has cowed my better part of man, and be those juggling fiends no more believed that falter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee!
And yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood, thee comes for Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damn be him that first cries, hold enough!
They fight again. Exeunt. Trumpets sound the retreat. Then enter with drum and colours Malcolm, Old Seward, Ross, Lennox, the other thanes and soldiers.
I would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see, so great a day as this is chiefly for.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's death.
Old Seward crosses to the corpse of his son. Enter Macduff, his sword in one hand and with the other, dragging in the body of Macbeth.
Hail, King! Or so thou art. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as is thought by stealth and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.